Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center. We hope your brief detention in the relaxation vault has been a pleasant one. Your specimen has been processed.
Portal. In Portal you solve puzzles. You are given a portal gun to solve the puzzles with. And the portal gun can shoot 2 portals. You have a bit of a variety of tests to solve, and it often involves boxes, energy balls, momentum, and sometimes turrets. And if you aren't satisfied with the campaign, then you can play Advanced Chambers, which you unlock after you beat the game. The chambers are a bit different to give a more challenge thing, like the floor is toxin or you only get 1 box. You can also replay the chambers with a more of a challenge thing, like use the least amount of portals, least amount of steps, and time. The story, on the other hand, starts like an ordinary rollercoaster story. I mean, you get tests, you solve the test, and get cake at the end. You are guided by this robot GLaDOS, who congrats you on your success victories, I guess, and promise your cake at the end. You might notice that something isn't right, but it doesn't really lead to anything, so it doesn't really matter until you come across a chamber which someone have written all over the wall. Like, for example, the cake is a lie, or are you still there? I mean, like somebody lived there for a very, very long time. And it's very good because it changes the entire game. For just being an ordinary, what's the dangerous thing? It's just about solving puzzles, right? To a big, big fucking mystery. And it also sets off this atmosphere which is very uneasy, and you don't really know who to trust, and you don't really know where you are. And it's very good because in the beginning of the game they don't give you so much information, so you're waiting for this, information, you're waiting for an answer, or you get many questions of what's going on, but you never really answer anything. Sure, they might hint a bit there and there that something isn't right, but then you get this thing that is completely not expecting. I mean, you were expecting something, it was not expecting, they didn't hint anything that it was some kind of, well, the big deal is that you don't really know what's going on until the very end, and the answer to that isn't really that good, but it wasn't expected because they never really hinted that it was going to be something like this. I mean, an underground test area or facility that's completely empty, but it's this computer is still running this whole show for you don't know how long. So that's very fucking good. And the original end was very fucking good because it, ended. All the questions, all the things, you got, you solved. And, so it was really the end. Everything you got, you solved, and goodbye end. It was this facility that go completely off course, and eventually you killed the, thing that run the show and the end. But later they changed the end to a more cliffhanger end, and it was not good because, just like I said, it were the end. There was nothing that you was expecting to find an answer to, because everything the game gave you in the first one they more or less answered. Maybe not in a good way, but they answered it. What happened with everybody? Oh well, I killed them. Oh, okay. So it were nothing to expect, and it felt like they were trying to squeeze more money if they're trying to do a sequel. But there were nothing more to expect because it was no unanswered question or anything. It's more about, how they answered them, really. But anyway, in conclusion, the entire game depends on how fast you solve the puzzles. For somebody it might take a very fucking long time, but for somebody it might take, a couple of minutes. The thing why it depends so much on that is because if it takes a long time, then the atmosphere will get to you, and you will get, more attached to this environment, and you start thinking more about this mystery. And it gets better because you spend a lot of time there. While if you don't spend a lot of time there, the end won't really get to you, and none of the facility or the atmosphere will get to you so much. It will still get to you, but not as much as if you were going to stay there a long fucking time. So in that way you could call the game short, because the content depends on the release of the game. The gameplay, of course, survives the release of the game. It's a big amount of variety. The game is, all around good, all the game. The release of the game. It survives the release of the game. It's a big amount of variety for the release of the game. And like I said, the ending now, a cliffhanger ending, it's not really all that good because it's not like you got something or they answered a question that they never answered. All the things they gave you solved. You kill the fucking mastermind. One other thing though that I forgot was that it connected with the Half-Life universe. Of course, in episode 2 they connected it already over there because Aperture Science, I think it was called. Aperture Science is the facility or laboratory or underground testing facility where you're in Portal. The problem with that is that I know a lot of games who want to connect universes but still have a standalone game in that universe. But the problem with Half-Life is that Half-Life is such a complex story that they haven't really answered any of the questions yet. There's still quite a lot of questions left. The problem with that is that it is expecting that they answer some of the question in Portals because they connected the universe, and Half-Life is not like, I mean, it's not the same case as another universe, because in Half-Life they haven't really given you any answer at all, so we're waiting for answers even in Portals because they connected them to. The problem with that is that Portal survives and is so good because it's connected with Half-Life and not because it's the standalone game. And another problem with that is that because of the cliffhanger, the only thing that expecting in a sequel, if one of them is going to exist in one day, is that it's gotta be has to have something to do with Half-Life, something more to do with Half-Life, because they connected it, and now you're expecting it because it's Half-Life. It's a universe that they haven't answered many of the questions at. So that's the only thing that you're expecting, because everything else is solved. They have given you an answer to everything in the Portal universe, in the Portal story. And whether or not that's a flaw or a good thing, time will only tell that shit. Because right now it's a good thing they connected them, because it wasn't like you're got Portal and were expecting Half-Life. You got Half-Life in it, and then it felt like, oh, wow, it's Half-Life in it, wow. But then it ended with a cliffhanger with every answer that they questioned in just Portal was answered. So the only thing you're expecting then is, oh, Half-Life, 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 because it's Half-Life. It's a special case. I mean, the only thing you're expecting in Portal 2 is then Half-Life, Half-Life, because it's a special case. A special case with this create another game in the same universe and have the game standalone, because they haven't answered many of the questions in the Half-Life universe. But anyway, back to Portal. In conclusion, Portal is a cute little game, which you gotta remember though, even though it's kinda short, everything the game do is very good. Everything is on display. I mean, the gameplay is good. I mean, it works. It's very fucking good. Even in the Lethal game, it never really gets boring. It's a big amount of variety in the Lethal game. The story is very good too, to be so little. The characters are very good too, to be so few. The atmosphere is very good too, even though the story isn't all that big. So it's really quality in this game, because all the things they do is very fucking good. It's high quality on all of them. So you could even jump and say that, oh well, it's a fantastic game, but the problem is why it's not fantastic, because it depends on this how long the puzzles will take, because of course if the puzzles takes longer for you to solve, then the atmosphere would really get to you, and then the game might feel even fantastic if so. But if you won't, then the game might just feel good, because the atmosphere might not get so much to you. So I would say that the game Portal, it's the good great really. I mean, it depends too much on the play, if I gotta say so. So I gotta say that Portal, it's a cute little good game.